Hi everyone, I'm Olga. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you my completed pages for the month of April. I think I colored quite a lot for myself during this month. Usually I manage to color a little bit less, and I started coloring in two books that stayed untouched for quite a long time, but finally I decided to start coloring in them. And the first book is this one, Enchantments by Morgan Fitzsimmons. I think I had this book for a year, or maybe even a little bit longer, and I like the illustrations and the theme, but I don't know, whenever I tried to start coloring I kept putting it aside. But this time I decided, well, I have to start coloring in this beautiful book. And to my surprise, when I started coloring I really enjoyed it. So I don't know why I kept delaying it. So I did two illustrations. This one, a fairy with blue hair with bright roses and all this greenery around her. I used Prismacolors on this illustration only. Yeah, on the Prisma. They behave quite nicely on this paper. Paper is quite thin. Yeah. And the second illustration is this fairy. Here I started at first coloring with Lyra Polycolor on her wings, and I didn't like how they behave on this paper, so then I changed on Prismacolor, and Prismas behave much better on this paper, so I continued using only Prismas in this book. Really enjoyed coloring these two illustrations, and so I think I should continue coloring in this book. The second of my untouched books was this one, A Bestiary of Tolkien by Mauro Mazzara and Andrea Piparo. I like this book and I really love the illustrations. Very beautiful, very interesting, very Tolkien. Yeah. And again I couldn't start coloring in it for some reason, I don't know. So this time I colored this double spread with swans. Of course I had to make them not like real swans. Somehow I felt like they should be pinkish. And yeah, that's how I like my picture to look, very bright and colorful and much contrast. And I did this picture with PB watercolors. I don't use watercolors quite often because it's hard for me to work with watercolors, but here I somewhat enjoyed using watercolors and nice paper. As you can see, watercolor almost did nothing to it, and I put several layers, and I really like how watercolor behaves on this paper. So I think I will continue using watercolor, especially on big spaces like this one. I added some shading with Prismacolor on the swans, and Posca of course, for these white lines, and a bit shading on the beach as well. Yes, and on the clouds a little bit. All the rest, it's watercolor. So I'm quite pleased with the result. The next book is this Russian edition book, Africa. I decided that I must finish this book because it's really very thin, and I could have finished it long ago, but I don't know. And now I decided I will. And so with this decision I colored 5 pages in this book. They're quite simple, like some ornaments, some patterns in African style, but it's quite fun coloring them because it's easy, but you can choose whatever bright colors you wish, any contrast, and yeah, it's quite enjoyable. No pressure, no stress about shading, anything, just pure enjoyment. I used aqua markers Star from AliExpress because they don't bleed. Yeah, and then these 2 illustrations. When you color something like this, very joyful and bright and colorful, and your mood improves really, because when you color something like this, you can't stay in bad mood, in gloomy mood. And the last one is this with crocodiles. Yeah. The next illustration is from Lost Ocean by Johanna Basford. I did only 1 picture in this one, like this mandala style picture with turtles. I tried to make them look like emerald D turtles. And I used mostly aqua markers and a little bit of gel pens, even with glitter, but I think you can't see that on the camera. And black background I did, yeah, again with aqua markers. Nothing hard, nothing difficult, but looks pretty, and I'm happy. The next book is the next illustration from this book, Nature Spaces, I think. Yes, Nature Scapes by Patricia Wynn. I mostly use watercolor pencils or watercolor in this book, and this time I used artisan watercolor pens, and only them, no pencil shading, anything, just artisan. I kind of like how it looks now, quite bright, and all these colors. It did bleed through, but I will tell honestly, it was hard for me to work with artisan. I don't know, maybe I don't know how to use them correctly or what. Maybe I need time to practice more, but I'm glad how it turned out, but it was hard. I think with watercolor it would be easier for me to get kind of same result. Well, I don't know. And the last illustration is from Fantasia by Nicholas Chandra-Vianata. It's funny because all the illustrations I've done so far in this book are not my favorite illustrations, kind of pictures that I don't quite like in this book, but anyway, I kept coloring them. And this time, because of Easter, I decided to do this illustration with this rabbit, bunny, I don't know. I really didn't like this illustration. It was like, I don't know, not Nicholas style, like some editor told him draw something for Easter, and he just did it quickly because it's not his style. And but anyway, I decided to be done with this page, and I colored it for Easter. I decided to make this rabbit like a chocolate bunny, and all these eggs like hidden somewhere in the yard in grass. So, and now more or less I'm glad with this picture. It makes more sense than like it looked uncolored. And here I used aqua markers for the eggs and the rabbit, and then I did shading with Prismacolor pencils. And for the grass I used acrylic at first, and then some separate grasses again with acrylic, and a little bit with Prismacolor again. Not perfect, but it's okay. I'm quite pleased how the grass turned out. Yeah. So these were my completed coloring pages for the month of April. I hope you enjoyed them as I enjoyed coloring them. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.